That's right, guys. It's time for some up close and personal Ironeye gameplay. And the first question above everything else is why? Why would anyone make a melee-focused Ironeye build? And the short answer is free will. But also because we can't let John Elden Ring, the Incredible Raider, and yes, the Hawk Tour have all the melee fun. So it's time we let Ironeye become Iron Blade as we get up close and personal. So you guys already know, step number one to being a good tank is you need that HP. You can see Wilder here has an A scaling, Guardian has an S scaling, and our big dog Ironeye himself has a... Oh, well that's not good. With only 200 base HP and a C scaling in health, not to mention only being able to achieve 820 HP at level 15, it was not looking good for the heroes. At this rate, we were looking at getting demoted to the Iron Napkin because we are not tanking anything with that health. But thankfully, we have the oh so magical Elden Jolly Ranches to bail us out of this one. We're going to be using the Knight of the Fathom for plus 100 to our HP, the Blessed Iron Coin for plus 60 to our HP, and a 0 RNG Relic that you can buy for another plus 60 HP alongside health regen whenever our health gets low, and a damage negation buff, which all combine for an extra 220 HP. With all these relics combined, we'll have 10,040 HP, which is a whole lot better than what we had a second ago. The tankiest class in the game, Guardian, without healing buffs is going to have 1,280 HP at level 15, leaving us 240 health lower than the tankiest class in the game. But we have 180 more HP than a level 15 Duchess and 40 more HP than an Executor. This is when both are wearing no health boosting relics at all at level 15, which for a class with a health bar made out of aluminum foil and foolish ambitions like 2 minutes ago, this is a huge improvement. Now for the playstyle, once you're set up for melee, you're gonna feel like a weird Executor Wilder hybrid, since like Executor, you're gonna want to find dexterity plus arcane scaling weapons to do a ton of damage and status build up. While being similar to Wilder, you're going to want to use your character skill for a bit of extra mobility with the added benefit of marking enemies to make them take extra damage with that huge burst of damage whenever you make the mark explode. The status melee weapons alongside your mark skill allow you to do some really good damage and be just tanky enough to pass as a melee class, especially if you can get your hands on some proper damage negation weapon passives and dormant powers, or if you pick a really good guard boosting shield plus a poking weapon like the Bloody Healers, which goes amazing with this melee setup. Finding guard boosting equipment can allow you to basically sit right in front of your enemies and build up status effects while tanking through powerful attacks, which is something you would normally never try on this class. In terms of weapons to keep a good eye out for, just look for anything that has good dexterity scaling, and if it scales off both dexterity and arcane, that's even better, since this class has a B scaling in arcane, which is higher than a majority of the classes in the game. So does this build need to exist? Nah. But are we doing it anyways? Absolutely. And with that being said and done, let's get into some awesome gameplay. There was three Ironeyes in this run by complete coincidence. It was three absolute gamers gathered together like knights at the round table with one simple goal in mind, and that's right. Use the easiest character possible and win no matter what, alright? We on the crutch character, we winning this. The first video here is just a bit surreal, alright? I mean, it's an Ironeye frontlining for two other Ironeyes. Nobody will even believe you if you say you've seen it until you show them this video, alright? They're not gonna believe a word you say. They're like, Ironeye on the front line? Doubt it. But then you just link them right here and boom, you can see me throwing hands. Well, I'm not throwing hands, but I'm throwing freaking whatever this thing is, alright? I'm using it. That's right, Wilder, Raider, Guardian, pack your bags, alright? There's a new tank in town. And his name is Iron Blade. I don't know if we settled on that name, guys. Alright, let me know in the comments a better melee name for Ironeye, but I feel like Iron Blade goes hard, right? Okay, right here, I was just trying to R farm for the thumbnail, but I mean, a certain somebody whose name won't be mentioned was looking the wrong way. This next clip right here is just for everybody who can't stand this boss, man. I hate the Black Blade Kindred. So this kill right here, this for us. This for the people, alright? We fighting back. I mean, this thing right here is an absolute menace, man. This thing has to have more kills than Lord Frieza himself, man. This thing, I mean, this thing needs out of here. I remember the first time I walked up the Bestial Sanctum and I was just thinking like, dang, what a nice day. And this dude just comes down with an atomic elbow right on my head. So this one is for me and hopefully for all of y'all who had to fight this thing too. Man, the Dancer of Boreal Valley. You can't hurt me anymore. I'm not on DS3. Seriously though, if you've never played Dark Souls 3, try out some of these legacy bosses on there, man. They're worse than Batman's Rogue Gallery. Also, thank you for the hype up, player. This run was a ton of fun. The fight started off pretty intense as Caligo couldn't help himself but aura farm on all three of us. So we went ahead and gave him a taste test of some of that classic Elden Ring PvP, making sure that we 3v1'd him with every ounce of cheese we had. Caligo was then forced to suffer from "there's a fire camp in every single run that I do" syndrome and was forced to be burned. Right here, Caligo does an interesting play where he heads off to go get some milk, an absolute classic. 22 years later, I finally found him and I came in for a big hug, and looking at his wings expand out, it looked like he wanted a hug too. At this point, Mo Wettable had dropped an absolutely huge subscription, which by the way, thank you for that, but unfortunately that would anger Caligo, so he proceeded to go into phase 2. He then proceeded to trip over an ice shard and lose all his aura in a heartbeat. At this point, Caligo pulls an absolutely devastating play, fighting us from another timeline where we were standing over there, because I don't know what that attack was aimed at. This moment just reminded me that I am tanking on Ironeye. It just doesn't feel natural. At this point, Caligo was forced to get a harsh reminder of why we don't see too many frost dragons around the Soul series, as wherever this series is, there is typically fire damage. And that is gonna do it for today's video, guys. As always, if you made it this deep into the video, thank you so very much, as it means the world to me. And if you don't mind, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated, as it helps out a ton. This build was mostly just made for jokes, alright? I just wanted to see if we could make a melee version of Ironeye. And let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want to see another wacky type of character, alright? I'll go for like a ranged raider build or anything. I don't care. I'm just trying to experiment out here and just see whatever wacky builds we can make. So let me know down there, and also I hope you guys have a great and amazing day. That new boss, the Gnoster of Wisdom, or however you say that thing's name, is about to drop in a few hours, so make sure to check back here if you want to see me try to live stream and fight that sick, twisted, absolute monster of a boss. I'm sure phase 3 on that thing is about to be miserable, but we'll see how it goes. But I hope to see you all in the next one. Stay cool, stay awesome, and bye bye.